Hey everybody, and welcome back to Big Rig Briefing. I'm Joe. Today we're going to talk about the thousands upon thousands of fraudulent CDLs that are out there in the world and how we got into this mess. But before we do, did my hat trick you? Did you think it was one of those? Well, it says make logbooks paper again. I like it, and I'd like to give you one for free. I'm going to do a giveaway. Stay tuned. At the end of the video, I'm going to tell you how to get one of these hats for free right here on Big Rig Briefing. Let's get into it. So if you've been paying attention to trucking news at all, like in the last few months, you're already aware of the English language proficiency news, the out of service criteria update that came along with it. It's all over the place. It's a little controversial. It's making people feel big feelings. I want to do a video on it. Not today. This isn't the video. Let me know in the comments if you want to see a video on it and get my opinion, my take. I want to cover it. So do we have an English language proficiency problem in trucks, or do we have a fraudulent CDL problem in trucks? Well, maybe both, but I think at the core, it's the fraudulent CDLs. Thousands upon thousands are being given out every day to people that can't pass the tests. They're not going to the school, or they're failing the school. They don't speak English and they don't know how to drive a truck. But every day, they're getting a fraudulent CDL issued to them. They're driving alongside of you. They're behind you, in front of you. They're going to the same places you're going to. They're unloading where you unload. They're loading where you load. And it's scary. They're on the same highways as my family and your families, and they have no business being out there. They didn't pass the school. They didn't go to the school. They didn't pass the CDL test at the licensing office. They bought their CDL fraudulently in a fraud scheme. So how do I know this is going on? Well, check this out. San Antonio man sentenced for giving out 200 fraudulent CDLs. Yeah, this was a Texas DPS employee, and he was caught selling CDLs to people that had no business having one for, just the teeniest, tiniest payment of $1,000 a piece. He was sentenced to 24 months in prison. Well, that's not all. How about this one? Bay County Sheriff's arrest 8 in CDL scheme. Again, DMV employees in Florida were exchanging CDLs for, yep, you guessed it, money. And how many CDLs did they exchange for money? Well, the news article I read says thousands. Okay, so I showed you some in Texas, I showed you some in Florida. That's all right. No, check this one out. Cuban citizen sentenced for CDL fraud. This man paid Texas DPS employees to falsely certified failed CDL tests. There couldn't possibly be any more, right? Wrong. Check out this one here. Owner of California truck driving school sentenced for scheme to fraudulently issue CDLs. Law enforcement officials arrested a Bakersfield driving school owner for unlawful production of an identification document, otherwise known as fraudulent CDLs. This one got 14 months in prison, and guess what? Law enforcement seized a teeny tiny lump sum amount of $100,000 that was proceeds of the fraud scheme. And on to my favorite one. Ex-Massachusetts State Police Sergeant convicted of driver's license bribery scandal. Massachusetts State Police Sergeant was found guilty of taking bribes in exchange for giving people a passing score on their CDL tests. But check this out. What was he taking for bribes? Not money, but a snowblower. How bad does Massachusetts pay their sergeants if he's taking a bribe of a snowblower to give somebody a fraudulent CDL? It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. I wonder if he knew about the other guy that had $100,000 for the same thing. How many snowblowers can you buy for $100,000? So, do we have an English language problem in trucks? Yeah, probably we do. And I want to touch on that. I really do. But for now, beyond that, we have a major fraudulent CDL problem. And I don't know what the answer is. They're obviously trying to crack down on it because you saw the news stories, but it's still happening. And there's so many people out there that are unsafe driving trucks and have not proven that they're competent to do so, that they know how to do so, that they're capable of maneuvering and backing and reading traffic signs. It's just a terrible problem that we have. Like I said, I don't know what the answer to the problem is, but it's a problem. And if you have knowledge of it happening, if you have firsthand knowledge, please report it to the state. Report it at the state level. The state's in charge of issuing out CDLs. If you know about these fly-by-night schools that are just taking payment and throwing out CDLs to the students who didn't prove that they're qualified, please report them. You can also report fraud to the United States Department of Transportation at hotline@oig.dot.gov. You can go to the website and find the fraud hotlines as well. So thank you for hanging out with me to the end of this video. I want to reward you with the opportunity to win a free hat. If you want this hat, subscribe to my channel and comment below on this video, subscribed. When I get to 100 subscribers, I'm going to pick somebody that commented below, and I'm going to reach out to you in the comments. I'll pin your comment, and I'll send you one of these hats for free. Thank you again. Thank you for following along. And until next time, I'm Joe. This is Big Rig Briefing.